just before we start, we do have an announcement today. On July 13th, Helen Biles passed away peacefully. Helen was the wife of longtime member and past president in 82-83 of Ken Biles, who supported and shared Ken's passion for Rotary. Our thoughts are with the Biles family during this difficult time. Ken became hard of hearing, and phone calls are difficult. So offering condolences via emails would be appreciated. We do have his email. I'm just not sure about putting it on here, but I'm sure it will be in the beacon. And I guess somebody could help me out with if we're sharing emails on Zoom. Everybody's on mute. Okay, so I'll go with.
Just do a whiteboard and have it just typed in there.
Okay. Is Craig, past President Craig, on? Okay.
I don't see him. Nope.
We'll get the email into the everybody there. So, good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Welcome to the weekly meeting of the Rotary Club of Barrie, and a special welcome to our visiting guests and Rotarians. Things go better when you are here. We will now begin our meeting in the usual way with O Canada and a toast to the Queen. Please rise.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true, most strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Well, that was a beautiful rendition. Thank you. And a toast to the Queen. Thank you, those that toasted. Our Beacon editor this week is Brandon Elliott. And of course, if you have any announcements or something to help them fill in the Beacon, that'd be greatly appreciated by an email or a text. Thank you very much to David Sopach for a great Beacon last week, and very timely. He had it done almost before we had the Zoom meeting completed, so that was pretty impressive. So now I call upon, for introduction of guests and visiting Rotarians, I first call upon Marshall Green.
Thank you, President Deb. It's my pleasure to introduce my friend, fellow part-time Innisfil resident, and father of our speaker today, Skip Siegel.
Thank you. And are there any other guests?
Yes, I have my wife here, Lisa Dennis.
Welcome, Lisa.
Steve Meadley from the Rotary Club of Bracebridge.
Oh, awesome. I just love seeing you here, Steve.
And our guest speaker today, Jonah, is visiting from Seattle.
Thank you. Well,
I
welcome.
have, I
Oh,
was going to say, I would introduce, you've already met her, Tanya Sari. She has submitted an application to the club that will be coming through.
wonderful. Welcome. Well, welcome very much to all our guests and our visiting Rotarians. Certainly, we love to have you join us, and you're welcome anytime. Now, special presentations and announcements. Right now, we have two that we know of. Bob, for Festival of Trees. We have Bob Greer.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, President Deb. We have a request going out to anyone who would like to work on the Festival of Trees Committee. We're looking for people in the sales area to help us with selling the sales spots down at the park. The Festival of Trees will be going ahead, and as some businesses have gone down, other businesses have gone up. So we're looking for some help from members of the club to do some canvassing and trying and reach our goal for the Festival of Trees. So if anybody would like to get involved with this, please contact me, and we'll get everything together and start a plan. Thanks, President Deb.
Thank you, Bob. And Betty Ann. Betty Ann, you're on mute.
I am now unmuted. With opening stage 3 for Ontario, we're going to be looking at when it would be okay to get back to South Shore. So much depends on South Shore itself, the city's bylaws. We want to be safe. We don't want to mess with anything that could get us in trouble. So I believe Arlette and Wayne will be working with the city on that, and just realize that we all do want to get back together, but we want to do it the right way. And so that now will be something that is on target with our committee, the Club Service Committee, and Eric, I'm going to get in trouble for this. What? Sergeant at Arms Committee. Yes. Okay. So we will be working on that and let you know any news as soon as we can. But we're going at this time to be still doing Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you, Betty. Any other announcements? Don't see anything. Jeff, do you see any hands? Okie doke. Thank you very much for those. And moving into birthdays and anniversaries. So birthdays, we have our esteemed Sergeant at Arms, Eric, coming up. So I guess he's going off for a couple of weeks holidays for his birthday. Anniversaries is Mike and Rose McCann, 7 years. That's July 20th. So Mike, if you're on board. Stu and Sandy McMillan, July 20th as well, 35 years. And Brandon and Kaylee Elliott, July 22nd, 3 years. And we also have some club anniversaries. Jonathan Derrick, 1 year, July 18th, and Graydon Oldfield, 14 years, July 20th. July 20th is a really popular date today. But thank you, let's see, make sure I got my follow here. So please accept the congratulations of the club in honor of your birthday, donation of 5 Polio Plus vaccinations, and in honor of your anniversary, a contribution towards the fight against COVID-19 will be made in your name to honor Rotary's Polio COVID Resource Center. So happy birthday.
Oh, we have a treat today, President Deb.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you.
Oh.
I love that one.
I love that one might get played again at some point. That was good.
I challenge everyone for other videos.
Oh. So, and great prelude into our Sergeant at Arms, Eric, our singing Sergeant at Arms.
All right, unmuted, putting on the cut. And Jeff, can you do a share screen for me? Great, thank you very much. Let's go on to the first one, reminder of how to make payments. This was included in the bulletin last week. The links are there. Brandon, you can put this in again. You can use e-transfer to me if you'd like to pay your fine that way and you don't have terrible banking fees. You know, maybe with your Scotia, that might be a problem. We also have the link in here to our Canada Helps page that can help you out with making a direct donation, and then you get an immediate tax receipt for your fine or your fee. So just a couple of options there. Let's make sure people have access to those. And Jeff, next time. So yes, you heard Cam Brown today. Marshall recruited Cam and a few others to start our meetings off on a good foot. Marshall, any background on Cam?
Thank you, Sergeant Arms, Eric. Yes, Cam is a lifelong Barrie resident. He's been an artist in the Canadian music industry since the early 2000s. He worked in broadcasting. He was with Rogers and with TSN during the same time, then went back to school and became a high school teacher. He now performs at many local establishments and at weddings and private functions, also writing some of his own original material. And above all, he is the son-in-law of former Barrie Rotarian John Milkaritis.
Very nice. Thanks, Marshall. And thanks for keeping on sending some more folks to us for anthems. It is nice to see a little bit of local talent and to personalize a little bit on our start of a meeting. Speaking of start of meeting, there were a number of Rotarians that arrived during the anthem, and that is significantly after the start of the meeting. So the ones that we noted with late arrivals today were Arif, Greg McWatt, Arlette, and Kara. So do feel free. You know, that's a pretty, we can keep the fine relatively modest for that. Let's do $2 on the late arrivals. It's a part of our Rotary etiquette. It's just a nice opportunity for you to set your clock that much earlier next week. That seem fair to you, President Deb?
Most definitely.
But feel free to top it up. If $2 is just too small for your liking to make a transaction like that, feel free to give often, give heavily. Let's see. Next one up there, Secretary Jeff. So interestingly enough, Dave McCullough, past President Dave, he's pretty good at avoiding the camera unless I actually have him on a hospital business. But Dave was very involved in Hockey Helps the Homeless, and I think one of the highlights this year is that Hockey Helps the Homeless actually got completed. It happened on, if I recall correctly, March 6th, which is literally a week before lockdown. So I thought Dave was offering a bit of a good news announcement about just how Hockey Helps the Homeless turned out. Dave, are you online and unmuted?
I am, Eric. Hello, President Deb. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Yeah, Hockey Helps the Homeless. We were lucky to get it in. It was on Friday, March 6th, not unlike Wheels for Wellness, which was the next day, Saturday. The world came to an end the following week as far as groups getting together. But Hockey Helps the Homeless was a great success. I was the chair of it this past year. The concept is a one-day tournament, 150 players and 10 pros spread over 10 teams. And happy to say that it supports Busby, who as Rotarians we supported in the past, Redwood Park, who we're looking at supporting. We raised $150,000 and we're able to donate $75,000 to Redwood and $75,000 to Busby. which was a great day, great event, and great community support. And thanks to the Rotarians that also supported the event. Thank you.
Thanks, Past President Dave. That's a pretty impressive good news announcement. I think that's a little bit too much good news for the community to actually levy a fine on you. President Deb, are you okay with him getting off with that one?
This time, mostly because he was a advisor for me too. So yeah, I'll take these on him.
That's fair.
President Deb. Thank you.
At least better half Nancy was in one of those shots, so that's kind of nice to see. Next up, Jeff. Yeah, so Michael has not seen the photo I've got on the right-hand side here. I snapped that one as a screenshot last week. Not their most flattering shot, but Mike sent me a much better one yesterday. So this was suggested by former SAA Jody Patfield. That as Mike has shared, we've got an impending family of Rotary birth coming up in September, and it was made clear that Mike and Bonnie would be up for a bit of a pool on guessing the date of the birth. So what we're going to suggest is this: for a mere $10 donation to Rotary, you can pick a date in September. There's only 30 days in September, so don't take the 31st. So you take your $10, you do that as an e-transfer to me or as a donation through the site. You let me know what date you're picking. It's only one person per date. With one caveat, I'll get you to as well, and then when the winner is chosen, when we have a date for the baby, the winner gets to choose where 50% of the funds will go. So charity of your choice, and the other 50% would go to the SAA pot or to Rotary's charities as we go through the year. So that's kind of the deal. The caveat would be if we do find people backing up on the same date, you'll be given the option to share that date, but pick a gender. We don't know the gender of this baby yet either. So Michael, I saw that you're on the line. If you're unmuted, you had an interest in sweetening the pot on this deal.
So President Deb, fellow Rotarians, to sweeten the pot, I am going to purchase an adult beverage bottle for the winner that goes with the bragging rights of winning the pool.
And I'm pretty sure you also mentioned you'd name the baby for the winner, right? Was that just me?
I think that wasn't part of the discussion. I think that's maybe a later discussion. Did not happen on the process.
All right, we'll take that part off the table. So what you can start to do, you can toss me an email with your preferred date, or you can start to make your bids for a date online. Of course, it'll be first come, first served. If you do back up on the same date as somebody else, I'll offer you the choice to go in for gender on that as well. But let's see if we can raise a little bit of funds for Rotary, have a little bit of fun with an upcoming family of Rotary birth. And thanks to Mike and Bonnie for making this possible.
SAA Eric.
Yep.
Just something that's going through in the chat, might be secondary is past President Greg put out there to bet if Mike faints in the delivery room.
Very nice, very nice. That's quite a tribute there, Mike. So we do have that option as well.
That could be an interesting one. I would go in favor of it.
All right, well, let's get this, we'll get it underway. Start sending me your preference for dates. I'll start keeping track. I will be offline for a bit, so that could slow me down, but I'll start keeping track, and we'll check in when I get back online after vacation as well. All right, let's move to next one, if that's okay, Jeff. Okay, so pet pics have started coming in. Bas was first off the mark. This is apparently Princess Poppy. And Bas, did you have any extra details to offer about this pet?
Actually, President Debbie and Sergeant Arms Eric, I do. I absolutely did not want to have a cat. And my daughter and wife convinced me to add a little cat to our family. We already have a dog, and very often 3 dogs in the house. So I was against it, didn't like cats. This was a 6-week-old little kitten put into my hands when it came home. And about 7 seconds later, I changed my mind. And ever since then, she's been copying me in her relaxed poses. And this is one of the pictures of her relaxing on the dog bed in front of the window. She, of course, runs the household, and we really like having her.
Nice. Well, thanks, Bas, for brightening up our day with a pet pic. You can definitely send in more pet pics. I know we've got some COVID purchased pets in the club. Toss in your photos, and we'll see which ones we can get selected and onto the screen. Last slide for me today, Secretary Jeff. As we mentioned, I am going to be away for the next couple of weeks. I will be back for the meeting on the 30th, but next week I'm literally offline. Actually doing a silent meditation retreat, leaving my phone at home, so I will be out of touch for a little while. So I did reach out to a former SAA, name is Steve Blanchette. He will be my guest SAA for July 23rd. I went online and found this image of that SAA with another Rotarian known to us. I would assume that they will have a degree of chemistry in the room, so I'll be looking to watch the recording when I get back. Interim SAA Steve or President Deb, any concerns with this matchup?
Is Steve still online?
He does appear to be muted.
There, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Yes, I have all sorts of concerns, but I will just keep them to myself until afterwards. And if President Deb and I are looking for good legal advice after that rendezvous next week, Eric, we're going to send the bill to you.
There was a good start there, referring to me as President Deb. So that, that's good.
Definitely a good start.
And that is obviously showing in your picture with that big smile. So what can I say?
So if you're willing to rat out a fellow Rotarian this week, please toss that over to Steve, because I won't be getting emails and able to forward to him. And I will look forward to seeing just what Steve's got on you when I get back. That's all I have for today, President Deb. Unless there are any questions or immediate squeals, I'm good to go. Hearing none, I'm out. Muting now.
Well, thank you so much, SAA Eric. That was awesome. You got your birthday song and right into an awesome events time. So congratulations, well done. So moving on, early leavers. Yes, we are still following some protocols of our meeting. So we request that you please apologize to the speaker by direct chat if you need to leave, and now would be the appropriate time to click off. Mostly so we don't have all those little bleepy bleepy things going on with Zoom while the speaker's trying to move forward. So, and this week's program, we have Jonah Sigel, level C exec at Amazon and Starbucks. The topic is direct to consumer digital in a post-COVID world. Now we do have an announcer, and it dropped off my screen. I believe it was Mallory. Mallory was going to introduce.
Yep, can you hear me, Deb? President Deb, sorry.
I can hear you, thank you very much, Mallory.
Okay. Yeah, Jonah, I just want to say thank you first for stepping in on short notice. I met Jonah on my trip with the Champagne Shipbox a couple of months ago in Seattle. So he was in the Barrie area, but visiting from a little bit further away, and excited to hear him share a bit of his story and his journey with us today.
Is that my cue?
Go ahead, Jonah.
Start?
Yep, go ahead, Jonah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, sorry. Thank you, everybody. It's really nice to be here. As Mallory said, I spend most of my time these days in Seattle, Washington, where the coronavirus hit first. So we were shut down on February 13th. Kids haven't been in school. Everything's been closed. And then shortly after that, we ended up with the protests and the riots. And my kids go to summer camp in Algonquin Park. And although that's been canceled, they were really anxious to come back here. So we filled the car with our two pets. I don't have any pictures, but they are sitting here next to me. And drove the 39 hours from Seattle to Barrie. We got here Saturday. It'll be 3 weeks, and we quarantined here for 2 weeks. It's been amazing, and completely blown away by the different experience and attitude towards the virus here than we've seen in the stateside. I can tell you that through the drive, we got hazed and teased multiple places for wearing masks. A couple of days ago, we took my daughter to the mall here. And I've been telling people in the States, it wasn't 90% compliance or 99% compliance. It was 100% compliance. Absolutely everybody we saw was wearing a mask. So it's really good to see. It's refreshing. There are more cases on the island that I live in outside of Seattle, which is called Mercer Island. It has a home to 25,000 people. They had 177 cases yesterday. Big numbers compared to what you have here locally and certainly in Ontario. So that's it's really good to see. Mallory told me that your topic, I guess, of the season is keys to success. What has really helped me get to where I am today? And I'm probably I'll reflect on 3 of them that have kind of iterated over time. I've spent some time with AOL, Starbucks, Amazon, and all of those companies were led by people who had a fundamental principle of customer service. And that, to me, I think is the singularly most important thing that a business can focus on. Being laser focused and unwilling to waver on dedication to customer service, whoever your customer may be. That could be in the B2B space or in the B2C space. But constantly being reminded that you have to be singularly focused on customer service. Second, I believe it was Bill Gates or Steve Ballmer, I'm not sure, who always told Microsoft shareholders that at any point in time they were 30 days from being irrelevant. So never getting complacent, being completely focused on what could come around the corner tomorrow. I think that's critical. We've seen here in Canada companies like BlackBerry come and go very quickly. And at one point, the whole world was on BlackBerries. And I saw somebody had on my BlackBerry in a footer the other day, and I wrote back to them asking them what that is. So needing to remain completely focused on not being complacent, understanding what future technologies are coming. The third thing I would say that I've learned later in life is definitely that, in my mind, the who matters much more than the what. Who you work with, who you work for, to me is the single most important thing that's going to lead to career happiness. It doesn't matter the company, it doesn't matter what you're doing, but if you surround yourself with good people that you can get along with at work. We typically spend more time working, whether we're at work or away from work, than in anything else. I think that's the single most important thing right now that, as I'm in the market right now looking, my company just got sold to Caterpillar. When I'm asked the one thing I'm looking for, it's the right team and the right people. What do? I am singularly focused on the intersection of digital experience and direct to consumer, and helping businesses, especially in Corona, figure out how to maintain their business and how to accelerate it in a digital world. Corona has increased the amount of time or decreased the amount of time that companies are going to have to adjust to a new world where we don't go to stores, we don't go to restaurants, and our appetite for going out and shopping is changing. I used to say that Canada lagged behind the US from a digital perspective and online about 10 years. So trends that we used to see in the US were taking 5 to 10 years to pick up here. With Corona, that time has now evaporated. The ability to do click and collect, the ability to do curbside pickup, those things right now are critically important. The really good news is, back when I was running my startup in the mid 2000s, you would have to go out and build your own technology. It would cost tons of cycles and tons of time to do that. There's now incredible partners out there and easy technology to implement that makes communicating and interacting and accessing either your current customers or new customers very seamless and easy. And that's what I spend the bulk of my time doing, helping businesses who've struggled with digital innovation before really accelerate today and pick up. And whether it's mobile shopping, online shopping, and by shopping, that just can mean transactions. How we transact with our customers is evolving, and that time that we thought it would take for Canada to catch up and certain technologies to catch up has been eviscerated. So those are the things that I really spend my time on.
Thank you. Okay.
I don't know if we're allowed to just jump in, but President Deb, I'd love to take an opportunity just to thank Jonah. Jonah, I think you nailed something on the head, and I thank you for sharing that the human element and the human interaction remains at the forefront and is so imperative when it comes to how we transact in a world as humans, but certainly also, thank you, I'm getting an earpiece, the importance of being able to adapt and to remain agile and to embrace the unknown. So thank you very much for sharing those words of wisdom with us at the club today.
Yeah, you're welcome. Listen, I think, when I was at Starbucks, the purpose was to really empower the human connection, one coffee cup at a time. The reason people go to Starbucks is they like that the barista knows their name. That's why they ask it when you order your drink. It easily could be printed, but they want their staff, their what they call partners, to write it down to create that human interaction. And whether it's schools or work or other things right now, the one thing where we're lacking is that human interaction. And anything that we can do to digitally enhance that today should be done. And I think there's lots of really cool pieces of technology that can be embedded inexpensively and quickly that'll enhance that customer experience.
If you don't mind me asking though, Jonah, just from your perspective, obviously having to adapt and maybe teaching and leading the way into this, people are used to utilizing their sixth senses. There's a difference between sending an email. There's a difference between being on an audio chat, adding the element of video chat. We don't get that touch point necessarily. What kind of guidance do you have? The perspective that I look at is not always important for me to expect somebody else to understand, but it's up to me to expect myself to teach and to guide and to lead people into embracing that new technology. What sort of have you found that has been successful for you?
Yeah, so I think it's a great question. I think the most interesting thing today is just, again, the vehicle of technology to increase the engagement, but equally as important, to decrease the amount of time it takes. When Amazon, now I lost my earpiece. When Amazon came out with Prime, it was 2-day, and 2-day shipping was, the whole new world. Well, now I'm not sure about here, but I ordered something, if I order something at Amazon in Seattle, I can get it within 4 to 6 hours. I ordered something 2 days ago, I got it yesterday. So we can help that connection by first of all, involving the customer in the journey. So constant updates throughout it, allowing for pickup to it, curbside delivery. You know, I got my dogs groomed yesterday up at, I guess it's called Park Place now. I pulled up, I sent them a text. They came out to my car, they got my car. They had a mask, I had a mask. When my dog was ready, I got an email telling me my dog was ready. I paid online. Again, when I went to pick it up, I texted the code, out they came. Like that immediacy of not having to go into the store is pretty good. And I had just enough interaction with the person. I was able to book my service online. So no, like I didn't go in and actually watch them being groomed. I don't know if that's important to some people. Adding the video to that component of it is easy. I think that, you know, stores like the LCBO here I've seen massive lines. They should be doing, in my opinion, a much better job on curbside pickup. They're not doing that at all right now. Other restaurants are. So I think adding video chat and other components into it, and again, when you place an order, providing timely updates as to what's coming down the pike and when, your estimated delivery time, better pictures on a website of what something looks like, more enhanced user experience, all of those things that used to take a ton of time and resources to build into an environment are now can be done within a matter of minutes, literally. A couple lines of code, if you have the right agency to do it for you, makes it really seamless and easy.
Well, President Deb, as we're hearing, obviously, as we evolve and as we learn to embrace technology more, I know even Betty Ann mentioned it about wanting to get back to South Shore, but we're utilizing Zoom. It's an opportunity for us as business owners or as families and individuals, and certainly as a club, to be able to embrace and encourage people to see the positive and the upside available to us during this. I don't know if there's time for other questions. If other members, Rotarians, have questions for Jonah, obviously he's a very valuable resource, and we thank him for joining us today.
We do have some time, and I think we have a couple more questions.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, President Jonathan here. Jonah, thanks so much for the presentation. Thanks, Eric and Mallory, for the invitation. Thinking about what you said about that human personalized aspect, so I'm curious to know, and maybe this is in scope of your expertise, things like CRM and big data and all that kind of background information, you know, how does that play into everything you're talking about?
Yeah, so thank you for the question. So customization and personalization is critical. And that's one of the facets of change that has grown exponentially as a result of Corona. So when I worked at Starbucks a gazillion years ago, they had a room that had a database in it that had every transaction that a loyalty member had purchased. Nobody had ever accessed that before in the past. Everything that we want right now is personalized. It used to be creepy that if you looked at your Google email, you'd see ads surrounding it talking about the things that you were mentioning in your emails. We now expect a fully customized and personalized experience. I saw somebody telling me that they were very upset that when they watched part of a Netflix show last night through Rogers, they saw ads that were completely unrelated. So our expectation is that we are going to be everything that we want, everything that we do is going to be customized. The technology going on through cookies and other pieces of software as we continue to live our daily lives is increasing. And our willingness to accept things as being less creepy is decreasing, which is good. The other day, I didn't eat Kentucky chicken, and we had a very lengthy discussion on the table about Kentucky Fried Chicken. And proof that Alexa and Google are listening, my entire news feed the next day were stories about Kentucky Fried Chicken. I had never entered it into anything. I had never searched for Kentucky Fried Chicken. I think there's one near our cottage here, but it had no reason to appear other than the fact that it is pervasively listening. That might creep you out. To me, that's a good experience. I would much rather see ads and get content that is filtered to me and my environment than the other way around. I think that companies that are able to re-engage with their customers, things like abandoned checkout is now standard. So you go to a website like Best Buy, you look at a TV, the phone rings, you walk away, you come back, your computer's restarted, and you're like, damn, I forget what I was looking at. They're now going to send you an email that says, hey, in your cart, you left this TV. Oh, and by the way, if you buy it now, it's 10% off, and you can get it curbside pickup. You can have it in 2 hours. So I think those things are critical. The technology to do that, again, exists out of the box, off the shelf today, and can be implemented really quickly to any business of any shape or size.
Wow, that's incredible. Do we have any more questions?
I do, President Deb. It's Eric here. Jonah, I guess the one thing that keeps coming to mind for me really around that customization and such, and it's, to me, it's been accelerated a little bit by COVID, is how personalized or how small our world gets. You know, the more that we kind of stop seeing conflicting opinions, you know, when our Facebook feeds are really only people who agree with us, and even the news sources we read are now so editorialized that I don't know that we really see much broad journalism anymore. And with COVID as well, with people being much more insular and in their bubble, what are the ways that you'd think we might be able to make sure we're at least getting other opinions and being exposed to some of the products and news that that we haven't filtered for?
That's a we need a lot of time to answer that question. Yeah, I mean, I think the challenge today is that, you know, from a media perspective, and apologies, like I don't know where the various Canadian outlets sit on the spectrum, but in the U.S. for sure, you know, you have CNN at one end and you have Fox at another. The New York Times is at one end, the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post. I can only tell you what I've done from that perspective. First of all, I don't believe any news on Facebook. I think that's well enough documented that there's things going on there that make it pretty unreliable. I've turned to the Wall Street Journal a lot. It's the only newspaper I currently pay for. I think their content is pretty editorial free and taking a slant. I think it's pretty good at the news. The best thing that I do is I don't listen to the radio anymore. I'm just constantly downloading podcasts. And I'm sure I'm going to probably duck when I say this, but I live a ton on Twitter and I follow people who I find like-minded. I will admit, I do tune in every once in a while to Fox News just to see how the other people are thinking. But like, news is a challenge. And I think from my perspective, podcasts are the way to go. I think that's the best way to get small bites of content that's interesting to you. I certainly wouldn't get it from Facebook, I can tell you that. I'm not sure if I really answered your question. I mean, that's a topic in and of itself, where to get reliable news today.
No, that's great, Jonah. The President Deb, one of the things that occurs to me, and again that that we can embrace to a degree, is, you know, the ability to get a speaker like Jonah from away, and to realize we could, because of our current environment, we can recruit speakers from around the world. And then it's kind of on us to actually have this kind of discussion. You know, even in a live meeting, we often, you know, wouldn't take the time to have as many questions from the floor. But that's kind of on us to be able to use this format to its maximum effect while it's the way we live. Just sorry, that's me editorializing.
No, absolutely.
I'm here at least until August 7th. That's the earliest we're going back. If it's okay, I don't know what your rules are, but I've typed my email address and cell phone number into the chat. Is that kosher by your standards?
Sure.
Sure, that'd be great. So I take it you're going to be accepting more questions.
Yeah, whatever. I'm happy. I'm here. Happy to help in any way I can. As I said, you know, I spend the bulk of my time helping small to medium-sized businesses tackle digital and technological problems, advancing into the future. And as I said, I think Corona has accelerated that. And the really good news is there's all kinds of platforms and startups out there with amazing things that you can do to accelerate. that aren't going to cost you a ton of time and or money.
Oh. Well, thank you.
Can I
Eric.
fill in, President Deb?
Oh, most definitely. Jody?
Yeah, thank you. Jonah, thanks for your chat today. And I just kind of wanted to get your feedback on this. So I own a small office technology business, and I guess I'm a bit of a dinosaur. I rely on and count on face-to-face and door knocking and handshake and that connection. And obviously with the way things are going to become and with technology, just curious what maybe your advice or your input or your thoughts might be on how essentially there's a lot of salesmen sitting on this video today watching the presentation. What does our future look like? What do you think? How do we go about what we've done for many years, engaging with people face to face?
Yeah, so is that Jody I'm talking to?
Yes, thank you.
So thank you for the question, Jody. So I come from a world where I believe, and one of my favorite bosses taught me that, and I subscribe to it, that nothing ever happens sitting behind a desk. I flew 175,000 miles last year, helping a robotic company sell autonomy systems to big companies like Caterpillar. So I'm with you. I think you have to be flexible and you have to be adaptive. We are no longer technically shut down. You can do your visits that, you have to be smart and you have to be careful. I think that the smart companies reinvent themselves. And I think that you try and connect using that human element with your customers and or potential customers to figure out what their challenges are today. I think it's imperative that you spend time understanding their roadmap and where you might fit in ways that you've never fit in before. Again, I don't know exactly what you're selling, but I think you said you're in office technology. Like, do you sell, do you start looking to do things like webcams? Standing desks have become really critically important. Ergonomically smart chairs, backlighting, things that you probably thought you'd never be interested in either selling or talking about. And again, I don't know your business, so I'm just trying to give you roughly some thoughts as I hear a broad subject. That's how I would be thinking, is when you talk to your customers, higher up the funnel you can go and say, look, like, what are your people worried about? What are your customers worried about? And how do we try and adapt our roadmap and our technology and whatever it is that we're selling to fit those needs? I think at the end of the day, Zoom or Google or whatever it is that you're using has helped create a bridge. That human element is always going to be critical, and how we interact with people may evolve, but eventually we are going to get back to that human element. There's no question that face-to-face. We may never shake hands again, but we will be breaking bread and toasting a completed deal sometime soon, I hope.
Thank you. Great feedback.
Thank you very much. Arif, would you?
So thank you, President Deb, and obviously fellow Rotarians, thanks for all the questions. They're wonderful. Jonah, thank you for making yourself available to us on such short notice as a club. I know at membership, we actually had a very similar conversation that talked about as much as we're able to be together via Zoom, how do we move forward as a club and ensure that maybe those of us who aren't as embracing of technology or haven't found a way to embrace the technology, how do we make sure that we maintain and in fact enhance our communication with our members and make sure that they're able to continue to participate as part of the family of Rotary? How do we reach out and make sure that everyone's engaged? And so I certainly learned a lot today. I hope all of us learned a lot today about embracing change, being prepared for the unexpected, and being willing to step outside of our comfort zones and recognizing that what we're truly after is being able to fill the void that's needed out there in the community, and how can we embrace technology to do so. So President Deb, on behalf of all of our fellow Rotarians here, I just wanted to say once again, thank you so much to Jonah. He's been a valuable resource to us. We met him through unusual means using technology, and I believe it was LinkedIn, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's wonderful that we were able to be fortunate to have Jonah here today with us. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And my number and information's there. Feel free to use it. Happy to help anytime.
Thank you, Jonah. In appreciation of taking some time and and sharing that amazing talk with us. We'd like to provide you with a certificate of appreciation. And what this will be is Rotary is, as they say, this close to ending polio worldwide. And as part of our thank you to you will be 10 polio plus vaccinations has been made in your honor, as well as Rotary's Polio Resource Center has pivoted to help fight against COVID-19. So we've also made a donation in your name to the fight against COVID towards the Polio Resource Center. So again, thank you very much. Really appreciate the time and effort in sharing that information with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome anytime. Now, President Deb's Stronger Together, Together Inspired Moment. We get this. Okay. Being very timely, being that we're in the midst of a pandemic, the start of the WHO, the World Health Organization. So health experts from 67 nations came together to create the World Health Organization, a critical source given our current situation. Doctors of the World Unite was a conference held in New York to launch this initiative. And that was part of a Rotary initiative back in 1947. And a fellow Rotarian had indicated it is delightful and heartening experience to watch public health experts from 67 countries work with Rotary zeal to lay the foundation of a new international organization for improving health in every part of the world. And you know, what came forward of that is the WHO's constitution came into force on April 7th, 1948. And today we now celebrate every year World Health Day. So that is certainly something very key to our Together, Stronger Together and Together Inspired moment to take us through into this these key times. So with that, having no other Rotary business, I declare this meeting adjourned. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Unmuted if you want to say goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you later, everybody.
Thanks, Deb.
Good week, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye,
day.
everyone.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah.
See you, Ken.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Betty Ann.
See you later.